Everybody, let's talk about arbitrations. Whether it's arbitrations or grievances, conflict is often a natural consequence if you can't come to some resolution. Whether it's in relation to a memorandum of understanding, which is an agreement between management and employees, or it's just simply a disagreement that you have. A grievance and an arbitration often can help resolve those issues, but there are consequences to pursuing down the grievance and arbitration track. And so, since it's beneficial to both management and employees that they have a conducive working relationship, care must be exercised whenever you file a grievance or an arbitration. Care must be exercised, though, because you want to make sure that you maintain that relationship. So how can you do that? How can you make a claim against somebody, yet maintain that kind of positive relationship that'll do you well over the long term? Several strategies that I would propose. First is to try one last time to resolve the issue before the arbitration date. Try as best you can. It may not succeed, it may be the fourth or fifth time, but I always make an appointment before an arbitration, even after an arbitration has been settled, and said, hey, let's see if we can work this out. As you know, we often can't compromise. If it's an issue of conviction and one where you need to make a stand, sometimes you can win that issue and give on another issue, a totally unrelated issue. So you often don't have to compromise on that singular issue, but try to resolve the issue. Second, be explicitly clear about your position and your agenda. Know exactly what you want when you're going into the arbitration. And be very careful about shifting your position, especially when you find out that the odds may be in your favor. I've seen too many times the other side try to take advantage of a mistake or an unclear reading of some contract or wording. They feel they get the advantage and they push for more. There's nothing worse. Third, always treat your opponent better than they treat you. Hard to do. Remember that this is a conflict-ridden situation. Something has caused these two sides to not be able to either see reason or to make a decision that's in the benefit and is beneficial to the organization as a whole. Because of that, they're on opposing sides of the table. It's hard to treat your opponent well. It's even harder to treat your opponent better than they treat you. But the audience isn't the other person on the table. The audience is the organization itself and the members that you represent. You want to be seen as the person that always took the high road, never made it personal. It'll do you well over the long term. Fourth, maybe the most important and most critical aspect to maintaining any type of semblance of a relationship, and that is always speak the truth and never distort or misread the opponent's position. I've been in too many arbitrations where this has not happened. Someone make a statement that says, well, this is what they meant. Well, this is what I meant. We know that's not true. Or, that's not what the record shows. Or, even more importantly, well, they told me at one time that, quote, unquote. Since there's no record of that conversation, there's only two people that may know the true validity of that statement. And if it's not true, or if you misread or misquote that statement, then it could really cause damage to a relationship that just simply won't recover. And lastly, win or lose, handle with grace and dignity, even compassion. There's a great saying at Wimbledon, which is the great tennis tournaments, that says, if you can meet disaster and triumph and treat those two as same, whether you win or lose, in essence, they're saying, if you can treat those the same, be humble, be generous. It's very tough to do. It's extremely tough. But if you want to maintain a relationship, it's almost critical that you do that. So this is what you can do in arbitration. Try one last time to resolve it before it gets to arbitration. Be very clear about why you go to arbitration. Always treat your opponent better than they treat you. Always speak the truth and don't misquote or misstate someone's position. And lastly, win or lose, handle with grace and, yes, compassion. I wish you all the best as you pursue these avenues. You can pursue these avenues and still, win or lose, maintain a semblance of a relationship that will, over the long time, benefit you much more than whether you win an arbitration or lose one. My best, everybody.